Okay, so let's continue. If you have any questions, please ask, as earlier. So we covered, we had an example of taking a very simple program, the rectangle calculator, and split it up to functions. And in reality, I understand, I think that it might not make a lot of sense why to do it in this such a small example. And I hope that having this skeleton will help you later on. Splitting up programs into smaller functions and having a better and easier code base that's easier to read. Let's take some. Let's do some another computation now. And this one, the next that I thought to do is that to write a function. Okay, and this was part of the reason I wanted to have functions. So it's not just a program. To write a function that if it receives a string as an input, and in the string there are digits, and it will count how many times each digit appears. Okay. So, let's create the program. Control, I create a new file, and I save it immediately in the day3 folder, and I call it count digits.py. Okay, so let's start right away with the main function. Okay, here it is. It say, okay, let's just say it hello for now, and I can run this program by saying Python day3, right, and count digits, and it doesn't do anything. Why? Because we haven't called the main function, right? So now it says hello. Okay. So first of all, we have some string. Tell me when I use the word let again, please. Okay. So we have a variable called, I don't know, how shall we call it? Text, because that's text. And in there are digits. Okay, that's enough for now. And I would like to, and I don't have it from an input. Okay, so far we don't have it from an input. We would like to take that string and count how many times each digit appears. So we'd like to have a function called count digits, okay, that will receive this text and will return the digits, okay? And then we would print out the digits for now, like this, okay? So now we have to implement this count digits. Let's go. Def, this is the implementation, and for now we can print out the text, okay? So we'll see it works, and return, well, for now we don't say anything to what we return. Let's run this. Okay, so what do we have here? We have the main function. Our program will start running the main function because it's here. And then just to clarify if it wasn't clear earlier, this is the definition of the function. Though this is at the beginning of the file, this is not the first thing that gets executed. Python first reads all these things and says, oh, yeah, okay, good. You have a function called digits, and it will do this. And it's correct syntactically. Fine, put it aside. Then it reads since, oh, there you have a function called main. Doesn't matter. For me, you could call it Kukuriku or whatever you like. I see you have it. And then only when it sees that, oh, let's run this function, which is called main, then only then Python starts running these functions, the code, okay? So that's the order of things. And in this case, we created a variable called text. We called the count digits function and passed it the content of this text, which was received in a variable, which is again called text, okay? And we printed it out. That's this one, this output. Once we printed it out, we have this print. It gave some result, and that result we printed out as digits. And it says none. Why does it say none? Because by default, if a function in Python doesn't explicitly say what to return, so there is no return something, then it will return none. Okay? This is what happened in other cases, in earlier. We just didn't look at the result, but at the returned value. So for now, we don't have this none thing we have, so which basically says nothing. There's nothing here. Okay. How can we count the digits? So we're going to have, I mean, we don't know what are the digits here. We only know that the digits can be 0 till 9. So we have 10 digits. And we have to store them somewhere. And we have to then return this. So we could, theoretically, have variables which are called count 0, and we have 0 in it, and we can have count 1 and have 1 in it, and so on. Okay, we could have that. Or we could have the following, that we go over, we count the zeros, return it, then we count the ones, return it, and so on. We could do that as well. And then we don't need the separate variables, probably. But a much better way is to create a variable that can hold all 10 counters at once. And it's easy in Python because Python has what we call lists. So we can have a list which, let's call it count or counter. And we can start it off by having zeros in it. How many zeros do we need? 10, right? Oh, how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? And we are going to return the counter. Okay, let's see what happens now. We still didn't count anything. We just prepared the storage of the counters. Okay, so it printed out the text, original text, and then all these numbers. Do I have 10 here? Yeah, it looks like 10. Okay. Actually, you know what? I put this in a comment. And instead of, I put something else. I say counter equal. I would like the list of element 0 10 times. Let's see what happens now. Same thing. Okay? So I don't need to work hard and put in the 10 zeros this way. This basically takes one list that has a single 0 in it and then replicates it 10 times. So now I have a list with 10 zeros in it. Fine. Okay. Now, how do we count? Well, we will count this way. We go over all the elements of this text, all the characters in the text. I mean, the text is just text, okay? It's not a number, it's text. So for, let's say, ch in text, and c print the ch. And we can put it in the other order just to be nice. So first we are going to print the whole text and then character by character. Okay, what happens? This way, we go over the characters 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, the characters that are in the text, and just print them. The number, but these are characters, okay? So these are letters. So in this list we have the counter list. We can actually access the values. Let me show that separately. Okay, so I create a separate example. Let again Gabor numbers equal to, or words equal to cat, dog, snake. Okay, so what we created here, show list by. What we created here, and I don't bother creating a function, is a list in Python, which is called words, and they have some words in there. I could not words like animals. I can do print animals. This way I can print out all the animals. So let's run this program. It's called show list. You can see this is how it is. I can also access the individual values by saying print animals, and let's say 1. Which animal is this? Think about it.
Yeah.
Sorry?
And the first one, cat.
Well, no, it's the dog. Because in most programming languages, as in most programming languages, by the way, I think it's not I think in R or MATLAB, it's not like that. So maybe that's confusing. But in most programming languages, people count from 0. By the way, it's the same as in buildings. We just don't say it's the 0th floor. We say it's the entrance floor. And then above it is the first floor. So this is element 0. This is element 1. And this is element 2. Okay, so element 1 is the dog. And I can print the same all 3 this way, access all 3. Okay. So this way I can access each one of them. I can also, yeah, okay, so far it's good. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that this way we can access the specific elements. Questions here? So I can go back to the count digits and say that I would like to say that the counter of CH, to increase it by 1, plus equal 1. Okay, so we say if in the CH, what do we say basically? The CH will have the digits that are coming from the text, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 again, and so on. And I say if in the CH I have 1, then I would like to increase the counter at the one's place. So in not the first counter, is the second counter, right? Because it starts from 0. It's the counter 1 I would like to increase by 1. Right? Will this work? Well, it won't exactly work. Let's see why. Slight error. Yeah, well, I was running the other program. That was working. Okay. So I get type error, list indexes. I don't know how to say it in English. So the index of the list must be integer or whatever slices. Okay, don't matter. Not string. So what happened here is that I had a string, right? The text. The text is a string. I go over, even though inside there are digits, but it's a string. It has quotes around it. I go over each one of the elements of it. So the CH will contain a short string, which is one single digit in it. There is a single digit in there. but it's still a string. And this index here must be an integer or a slice, but we don't care about slices now. So what do we do? Convert this to integer with the int function. Okay, so here it is. Now it worked. Okay, we can comment out these prints. Okay, because I'm leaving in the code, but I'm commenting them out. So we have, and this is the result. So this is how we count how many times 0 appears. This is how many times 1 appears, how many times 2, how many times 3, how many times 4, and so on. Again, this is the result. I can improve the output of the result by this. Instead of just printing the digits as it was, I can go over 4 digit. But now what I'm going to go over is the actual digits I can expect, regardless of what we have. So I'm going over the digits from 0 till this way, range. Again, I'm confusing the languages, sorry. Range 0 till 10. Print digit. Let's start with this. Okay. 4-digit in. Running the program again. So now it prints out just all the possible digits. And I would like to print out the digit and the counter. It's called digits here. This is the name of the variable. Let's rename it. Let's call it digit counter. So the digit counter at the digit place. Let's see, what do I get? Okay, so now I got a report where I say 0 appears 0 times, 1 appears twice, 2 appears once, 3 appears once, 4 appears once, the rest 0 times. I can make some changes here to show you better. Let's say put here 1, 1, 9. Okay. Run it again. Okay, we have a lot more of the number ones, and we also have number 9 ones. Any questions here? I guess I'm running way fast, but hope that it's okay. Okay, so earlier we saw numbers and strings. We saw how to convert the string to number. We use it again with this int or float there was earlier. Now we use the totally different variable type, which is called a list. In some other languages, these are called arrays. In Python, they are called lists. They are slightly behave differently from what arrays in other languages. So it's called a list. But basically, it can hold, well, a list of values. Okay, in this case, I created a list of 10 zeros. And then on each place, I updated the value. Okay, git status. Okay, I have these two files, git add. Yeah.
How does the +1 come into play here? I don't understand. The plus equals 1 in the function.
I'm trying to think. The question is how what does it do? How does it?
How does it affect the function? I don't understand really.
Okay. So do you understand how this is that clear? What is this, the CH here, right?
Not really. No.
Okay, so let's go back here. Now I'm printing out the CH, and let's say I'm commenting out this whole thing, so we won't have this output. Okay, so what the CH, we go over the elements of this text.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in the text we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 again, right?
Yeah.
So that so far is okay, right?
Yeah.
The int ch is just taking, but these okay, so these are not really numbers. I mean, for us they look numbers, but Python thinks about them as text, as pieces
Okay.
of text, right?
Yeah.
So in order to let Python use them as numbers, I have to convert them to numbers. So here I could say index equal to int ch, and then I can use index here. Okay.
Okay.
So now I say, okay, when I'm how basically think about it. Okay, when you we are actually going to in the opposite direction now. But okay, that's fine. You have to count something. Okay, let's say you have I don't know toys with different colors. Okay, and you would like to count how many blue things have, how many green, how many yellow, and so on. So what do? You create boxes and you write on the box the name of the color. This is the blue, this is the green, this is the yellow. And then as you go over the toys, and I'm talking about a real person, not computers, okay? You put the toy into the appropriate box, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now let's say you don't want to put the toys there. You just want to have a piece of paper, okay, where you count how many of these toys you have. So you will put on the table, on the paper, blue, yellow, green, the names, and every time you encounter a blue toy, next to the word blue, you would put in a line. Or if you don't put lines, you would put in a number, one larger than you already had there. So let's say you already saw 3 blue toys. Then you have on the paper, you have blue and 3, right? So when you see the 4th blue toy, you go to this place where you wrote blue and you erase, okay, that's the English word, you erase the number 3, and instead of that, you write number 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what happens if instead of things with color, okay, toys with colors, you need to count digits? Then the names of these boxes will be the digits actually. So it's simpler in a way, right? Because now you don't have blue and yellow and green, but you have boxes or lines on the paper, okay? You have the lines 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 until 9, because these are the possible digits. And then as you go through the actual digits in the text, and then you encounter a number 3, then you go to the paper. On the paper, you go to the line 3, and whatever number was written next to it, you erase it, increment it by 1, and put the new value there. Right?
Yes, okay.
Okay, so think about this counter is being basically the paper, where you have the 10 numbers, 0 until 9. And they
But I
also,
only see, I see here 10 times the number 0. So how?
yeah, so you start out by putting them on the paper. You say that I have the, when we were counting with the colors, you would start out with saying blue 0, green 0, red 0. And then as you can counter them, you would increment these number zeros, right? Here, this is what we do. We write on the paper, digit 0, we have 0 times. Digit 1, we have 0 times. Digit 7, we have 0 times. That's how we start. This is line, right? Okay. We have a list of 10 zeros. Let me show you. If we don't do any counting, if I comment this out and print out the result, okay, let's run this. You will get the report saying that for each digit, you have exactly 0 values.
Okay.
Okay. So we don't have these digits anywhere. The indexes we don't have. We just have a. Think about this. Look at this. This is basically what we have in the memory. A list of 10 zeros. And we know that this is the 0, 1, 2. This is the third place. The one that I'm trying to highlight. Let's say. Okay, this one where I put the mouse here.
Okay.
One. So I'm saying, okay, on the third place, we are going to count how many times the digit 3 appears. We don't need the mapping because the mapping is part of the listing. It's part of the idea of the list.
Okay.
Okay. So as we had here, okay, let's start with something as we had here, but I can do this one. Counter equal to 7, 2, 7, 4, 5. Okay, and I can say print the counter in the zeros location. What will be this? What will be printed? What will be the output?
7.
7, right? And if I put here 1, then the output will be 4, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the mapping. Here in this thing, we didn't have to put in the location of the places because that's just we didn't have to put in the names of the places. Okay, this is the name 0, but it's not really a name, so it's more like a location. Like you put 10 people, you put 10 things in order. Okay, you can talk about them. If you put 10 people in an order, you don't have to talk about using their names. You can say that the third person does something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't, and you don't have to put in anywhere the naming. You know what is the third or the first or the second or the zeros because you are doing computers, so you start with 0. Okay, so this is what we have here in this. Where is this? Count digits. We say, okay, we have 10 zeros. We created in this way because that's easier. And then we say, okay, when we see the digit 3, when the CH is, let's say, 3, just I'm picking in something, doesn't really matter, then the location, the counter 3, must be incremented by 1 because we have just encountered a new digit 3. Does the silence mean that you still it's unclear? Or
I need to go over it again, and we'll see. I just don't want to.
okay, that's really funny that because later on we are going to look at a different data structure. We actually use names, and I didn't think about it, but maybe that's easier to first show that one because it's clearer that you have these names. Anyway, here is the counting now. I enable it again. Okay. Let's see if it works. Right, it works. Okay, it gives me the report. Before then, it just prints out the current digit as we encounter it. Ah, mixing up. Any other questions with this? Anyone? So here we didn't have the total separation. We don't have input, so it's just hard-coded here. We have the business logic, whatever it is, the counting of the digits, that's fine. And then the output is part of the main function. Again, it's not huge, but we could separate it if we wanted to. So we can say display, and this pass the digits. Actually, you know what? Let's see if it works. I can highlight this, click on right click, refactor, and it doesn't have any refactoring. Okay, whatever. This is a tool, refactoring is a tool in Visual Studio Code and elsewhere, of course, to move parts of this code to functions. So let's say display digit counter. And then we need a function def display that receives the digit counter and does the work. Okay, let's see if it still works. Yeah, it still works. Okay, any more questions in the meantime? Okay, let's try to improve this. Okay, so what happens if we have not only digits, but also, let's say, a space here? What happens then?
It will be separated.
Sorry?
It will be separated.
It will? I didn't hear you, sorry. Can you repeat it, please? Oh.
It will be separated.
Sorry, I didn't understand. It's invalid, okay? It breaks the code, basically. It breaks through the program. So what goes on is that we go over the text. CH is always one of the characters. And then we're trying to convert it into an integer. But we can't convert a space to an integer, right? So this blew up, invalid literal for int. This is the error we got. and it says it's in line 7, and we go there, and it's indeed in line 7. Okay? So what we need to do, what one way we can do is to skip the spaces. Okay, we don't want to count them. Okay, later on we'll say, okay, let's count all the characters. But for now, we are still counting all the digits. So if we're only counting the digits and we have spaces and we want to disregard them, then we can say, let's say if ch equal to space, then what do we do? Anyone? Actually, I don't remember if we should. I think we did see it. Some people used it. We can call continue. Okay? What it does, maybe I haven't showed you. Okay. What this does, it says, okay, we have a loop here. Stop the current iteration, disregard whatever is here after it, and go to the next iteration of the loop. So this continue will say, okay, go to this place again and get the next character, basically. And don't do the rest of the code in the loop. So if I run this now, it works. Because when it sees a space, it says, okay, just skip it, go to the next character. I don't care. Okay, what if we have letters as well, all kind of things? Let's say an equal sign. Okay, didn't like it. So instead of having just this condition, we could, I think someone used this one. I'm not sure if this works. CH is numeric. I think you have this one. If is, but actually we have to say if not, then continue. I'm not sure about this is numeric. We'll see. Maybe it's called one word. Yeah. Okay. So this is a function or method of characters that can tell if the thing is a numeric something. So now what we say, if this character is numeric, but we say in the opposite, we say if it's not is numeric, then continue, go to the next one. Okay. Questions here? No questions. Okay, I think we can finish with this now. I will think about an assignment. I think I already know it. There are one part of the assignment is using the GitHub a little bit more, and one is going to be coding assignment. And we'll see you next week. Any questions? No?
Thank you.
Okay. So you're welcome,
Bye.
and bye-bye.